Hello friends, welcome again to GK Sports India YouTube channel, and this is the Kumbi Jikku show. Since the last time that we were on air, India under-19 men's team won the World Cup in Zimbabwe and Royal Challengers Bengaluru won their second WPL title. And now we are into the sixth day of this ICC Men's T20 World Cup with 15 matches, with all the drama, all the excitement, the highs and lows, near upsets, and some results going along expected lines. 15 matches out of the 52 league games and totally 55 in this ICC Men's T20 World Cup. To discuss the first 5 days of excitement, none other than K. Srinath, player turned umpire.
Very well, Jiko. Thank you very much. The T20 World Cup always is an exciting tournament. We see a lot of these associate nations come through the qualifiers and lock-ons with the full test-playing nations. As you mentioned, it's been pretty exciting first 5 days. We've seen some good cricket being played by the associate nations, especially the likes of Netherlands, Scotland, and Nepal. Surprisingly, the way they've played the first game against England. Truly, more days to come, we can see some more exciting games. And as you said, the fancy teams having results go their way. The likes of India, South Africa, Pakistan, all these teams, New Zealand, another front runner, all these have had the results go their way. So most of the teams have had 2 games under the belt. Maybe a couple of days down the line, you would certainly have a clearer picture of the teams that have been knocked out of the World Cup. One is Afghanistan, already having lost 2 very close games, one against New Zealand and the other one against South Africa the other yesterday night. So once it gets to that stage, maybe we might see some games that could be a bit dull, that are between prominently these associate nations. But no better platform for these so-called minnows, but certainly they don't look like one to lock horns with the who's who in cricket.
And the defending champions, India, nearly got a scare against USA, but thanks to Surya Kumar Yadav's magnificent knock, they just pulled it through comfortably in the end. But former champions, 2-time champions, England, could have faced the biggest upset against Nepal in Mumbai, but just that they managed to win by 4 runs. How close was that game, and what could that match do to Nepal's confidence? Because not long ago, last year in Sharjah, they defeated yet another 2-time champions, West Indies, in a bilateral series 2-1, and that has boosted them, their confidence so good.
In fact, had England lost their first game against Nepal with a loss against West Indies yesterday, they would have been out of this tournament. I mean, not really, because mathematically they could have tied for the second place through the net run rate. They would have still scraped through. But that was really a scary moment for England. I think the way they played against West Indies yesterday reflected that they still were not out of the blues with their close shave against Nepal. The brand of cricket Nepal played was fabulous. One good thing what I can notice with these associate countries are they have nothing to lose. They are here just to get exposed, play the World Cup on a big platform, lock horns with the stars from the full-time countries, and ruffle the feathers of these teams, which Nepal came close to doing. Yes, that on one side, but the match always that was discussed post yesterday was one game, wherein we saw a double super over. At one point in time, it looked like both teams wanted to lose. The team which tried that much harder ended up losing the game. So did you get to watch that game, Jiku? And I think before that, a couple of years back, you were also a part of another super over game which involved India and Afghanistan in Bangalore.
That's right, yes. I was actually watching it on TV before getting ready to go to Wankhede for the evening match, West Indies versus England. What a game of T20 cricket. And the commentators were just screaming on top of their voices, and a couple of them may even have lost their voices because of the excitement. Feel bad for Afghanistan. They could have won but South Africa should have won hands down in the regulation time, but for Kagiso Rabada's no balls. It took me back to 2016, where of all the people, Ravichandran Ashwin bowled no balls, and that cost India badly in the semi-final of that year's T20 World Cup. India versus West Indies at the Wankhede. So, Sri, great bowlers, but when it comes to such moments and bowling no balls, how cruel or critical can those moments be? And of course, yes, I was part of that, witnessing the T20 super over, double super over India versus Afghanistan in your city, or can say our city in Bengaluru, January 2024. Rohit Sharma got a brilliant 100, but Afghanistan not once but twice. But what happened in the second super over was they were all out, as in lost both their wickets without any single run. So that was something which was still fresh in memory. And yesterday's double super over, what a knock! Nobody would have imagined 24 runs needed to win in the second super over, 2 dot balls, 24 of four sixes to hit. You almost had it, 3 sixes, and then it was perhaps South Africa were destined to win, but not without all these dramas and excitement and whatnot.
So this game certainly lifted the morale of the South African team. Not only 2 points in the kitty, but they have pulled up. Unfortunate Afghanistan semi-finalist in the 2024 edition of the T20 World Cup that was held in USA and West Indies. A side certainly always eagerly look forward to watch them play the T20 format of cricket. They have some exciting players in the wakes of Rashid Khan, Gurbaz. To me, I think there was a tactical error from the side of the Afghan think tank and management. Why on earth would you send somebody out like Mohammad Nabi to bat?
Right.
When you have somebody like Gurbaz, who got a scintillating 84 just of hardly 34, 38 balls in the regulation match. And Nabi consumes 2 balls and gets out of the second 2 dot balls, and that boils down to 6 hits for the game to be done and dusted. 5 minutes to just regroup and get your act together. And with a senior statesman who's played so much of international cricket for England, Jonathan Trott, I mean, what went through their mind was really a big puzzle for me. And also, having bowled Fazal Farooqi in the first one, then you came back to Umar Sadiq in the second. When you have the best T20I bowler, the spinner in world cricket, and Rashid Khan, why would you do that? Just because a David Miller is batting or a Tristan Stubbs is batting, to generate power and hit the long ball is that much more difficult to use the pace of the ball. I think, as I mentioned earlier, both the teams wanted to lose badly, but the team which tried harder ended up on the losing side. But I thought during the super over, somewhere the execution of strategy, getting the right players to come and bowl was where Afghanistan faltered. But at the end of the day, I think it was a great game of cricket and fantastic for T20 cricket and this World Cup. It's really lit up the stage, and hopefully moving forward, we get to see more games like this, which can enthrall fans, and especially globally, people can get glued to the televisions to watch more of cricket.
Certainly, South Africa have 2 wins in their 2 matches. One can only feel for Afghanistan, who are almost out of this in the group stage. But one can feel happy for West Indies, the way they have won both their opening 2 matches. One was against Scotland, in which Romario Shepherd took a 5-4, including a hat-trick. And what a fantastic win against England. So many were talking about it being a rematch of the 2016 World Cup. But then West Indies just almost ticked all the boxes. And one positive thing was, yes, they have their number 3 batsman, Shimron Hetmeyer, coming back to form, not only here, but in the previous series against South Africa. But what is encouraging is Sherfane Rutherford's batting, and he can be explosive when he gets going. Just that he has been inconsistent, but his captain, Shai Hope, has all the confidence and faith in Sherfane Rutherford's consistency going forward. How did you like West Indies and their win? Because spinners did the complemented the batters and the total that they posted 190 plus at the Wankhede.
I have always been a great fan of the Calypso brand of cricket. We all grew up watching the greats of Vivian Richards, Clive Lloyd, Gordon Greenwich, Desmond Haynes, and the battery of fast bowlers. Literally a streamroll all the countries across the world. What surprised me yesterday was we could see the glimpse of the old flair the West Indian team brought to cricket, a different flair. It was just not about their batting. We always believed that they had the battery of fast bowlers who did the job for them, where they literally threatened, batters across the world. Surprising was Akhil Hussain started off with the new ball, bowling his left-arm spinners. Then Moti and Roston Chase. 12 overs of spin choked England. Both the teams have won this T20 World Cup twice. It looked like the clock was drawn back to 2016 in the iconic Eden Gardens, where both the teams met in the final, and I think that night belonged to Carlos Brathwaite, and those 4 sixers are etched in the history of T20 cricket World Cups. 30-run victory in a T20 game was a big margin, and I was extremely happy for West Indies winning this. Hopefully they progress, because once it comes to the Super 8s, it gets to a group of death wherein they could end up locking horns with this, teams like India, South Africa, and Australia, where it gets that much close. 2 teams out of those 4 would make it to the semi-finals. But that's where they need to bring their A game to the table. But overall, it was an exciting game of cricket. We saw some patches of brilliance by the England boys also. But on the given evening or night, I think West Indies were far superior.
You mentioned about 30 runs being a big margin in T20, but what do you say of the 10-wicket victory that New Zealand openers Alan Finn and Tim Seifert pulled it off the other night, 175 being the target without losing a wicket, both 80s, and just demolishing the opposition?
Well, I mean, when I was watching that game, looked a very good wicket at the M.A. Chidambaram Stadium in Chepauk. Once 173, 174 looked like, just about below par on that pitch. But these 2 guys, I think, are one of the top 3, the most dangerous opening pairs going around in this World Cup. Seifert and Finn Allen, the way they panned their innings, 15.2 overs to get to 178. I think the biggest partnership for the opening wicket in T20 World Cups. Fabulous. And I think the brand of cricket New Zealand is playing, they've spent so much of time in the last couple of months in India. I think now India has become like the second home. So the advantage teams like New Zealand and South Africa are having is their dress rehearsal before this World Cup. They have played quite a few ODI and T20 games in India. Yeah, New Zealand is always a ticking time bomb. They're a side certainly which has got the prowess in them to go till the end.
And what was admirable about Alan Finn was he came straight from BBL and played in the 3rd T20 against India, got 50 plus, and still continuing his form in this World Cup. Shri, among other things, the developments, India-Pakistan match is finally on after whatever happened, them threatening to boycott, and better sense prevailed, like we spoke in the previous show after the New Zealand series. How do you look at the upcoming India versus Pakistan Sunday, February 15?
Yeah, the hype always will be there, and it's a marquee clash, a game that is eagerly looked forward to, because there are no bilaterals that happen between the 2 countries. Top T20 side, India, former world champions, reigning world champions rather, and even Pakistan has got some exciting talent. And Pakistan is playing all their games at Sri Lanka, and it's their home. They are playing typically on pitches that are slow and conducive for turn. It's not going to be an easy cakewalk for India, because they are going to be up against 3 or 4 spinners, couple of them mystery spinners like Varun Chakravarti. it's going to be a battle of two teams that always everybody looks forward to. And as always, I say it's about holding your nerves. The team which handles pressure on the field and shuts the noise off the field, that's going to come up trumps. Really excited, and it's going to be a good game of cricket, because the sort of cricket Pakistan has played in the recent couple of games they've started off, the bowlers have come to the party, they've done well. And Shahzada Farhan, the sort of knock he played in the last game was brilliant. I was watching on television, and he looks like somebody who can really take the attack to the opposition. And Babar finding some form augurs well for Pakistan. Having said that, they are against a side, which was down 6 at 77, and from there the captain comes in and just clips the wings of the US bowlers, and they win comfortably. Eagerly waiting, and it's going to be a quality cricket match.
Certainly, just like New Zealand and South Africa, Pakistan also have won both their previous two matches. And you mentioned about mystery spinners in the Indian ranks. Do Pakistan also has maybe a mystery spinner, or can we say Usman Tariq? Can we classify him as a mystery spinner just because of his the kind of action, in the sense he pauses a bit before delivering, and how much can that annoy the batsman? Can you throw some more light on this particular pausing before, because we don't regularly get to see this kind of bowling in international cricket, do we?
Pause is something that bowlers use as a variation. But all the deliveries that Usman Tariq is bowling has got that couple of second pause. Maybe that's something he's worked on for a very long time, and that's his patent and go-to deliveries. Maybe if he's going to bowl one ball without a pause, that's going to be a variation. Yeah, lots been spoken about his action, about his pause. Unfortunately, either the law or the playing condition doesn't talk anything about the pause. So it's a very gray area, which maybe could be addressed in the days to come by, if at all it's taken up on a serious note. Well, the Indians would have watched his action closely, and because there's so much of data footage available as to how they could counter him, because he bowls those typical off breaks to the left-handers, and mind you, India has got about 6 or 7 left-handers in the top order running into the late middle order. So that could be a challenge for the Indian batters. But having said that, modern day cricketers are so fearless that they just won't be bogged down saying that there's going to be a spinner who looks a little bit different, and the other teams have struggled to pick him. Need not be necessary that India also is going to struggle with that. But overall, yes, India's batting coming up against these spinners from Pakistan. And mind you, Premadasa, big boundaries, almost 80-85 meters. So it would be a challenge for batters to hit those long balls. At the same time, the spinners would be licking their fingers to have a go at the batters. Big boundaries, normally you don't get to see that in the T20 format. The shorter boundaries where the sort of modern day bats that are available, you just stop it, just go out of the stadium. So yes, it's an interesting battle.
With 15 matches gone, from what the teams have dished out so far, who are your semi-finalists from now on? Because looking at Group C, it's going to be West Indies and England, and we expect South Africa and New Zealand to go forward from Group D, India and Pakistan from Group A, and maybe Australia and Sri Lanka from Group B. Who are your potential semi-finalists? Because looking at the Super 8s and the pairings or the groups in that Super 8, it is as per the ranks pre-decided. India, Australia, West Indies, and South Africa are in one group, whereas it is England, New Zealand, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka in the other group. My choices: India and West Indies from one group, and New Zealand and Sri Lanka from the other.
Well, New Zealand is one certain for me. Maybe Sri Lanka or Pakistan, because both of them are playing cricket in at their home. Rather, it's Pakistan's home now because they play most of the games there. Maybe better equipped. I think Wanindo Hasranga also is out of the tournament because of a hamstring. Benefit of doubt, I'll give it to New Zealand and Pakistan from the other group, and India certainly will qualify from this group. Australia, because of the experience they've had in previous World Cups. West Indies, for the brand of cricket they are playing, my heart says that West Indies should be there. And of course, former runners-up in the 24 World Cup, South Africa. A very, very tough call, and maybe I would go Australia's way, just because they've been there a number of times, and that's a team which brings their best to the table when it comes to the marquee events, and that too in the knockout stages. I'll go with India, Australia, and New Zealand and Pakistan.
Certainly, and Australia, yes, they know how to win ICC tournaments. Even there was talk of no Pat Cummins, no Josh Hazelwood, but then they started off with Nathan Ellis, winning the match in their opening encounter. On that note, keeping fingers crossed, let's see who enters the semifinals. But before that, it's going to be the Super 8s after the group stages. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Take care, stay safe. Bye-bye.